have we seen bottoming out here in the same way that we were talking about in the Chinese data a little bit earlier on?
I believe we have, and again, but I think the stabilisation is the best word to describe that. It is a stabilisation and not a sharp recovery. The one that I would really look at closely is Swedish PMIs. It seems to be sort of the ball-bearing manufacturer to the world, so a very industrial-centric economy. And you've seen that PMI recover reasonably well, and particularly on the new export order numbers in there have started to recover. That's a signal that I think we're getting a stronger recovery coming through finally in Europe. And remember also Sweden is a big exporter to Germany, so Germany, that manufacturing hub of Europe as well. So I think there is a stabilisation, and the data elsewhere that you're seeing is better than expected. It's not fantastic,
yes,
but it's not as bad as everyone feared.
It's really interesting because I'm trying to work out what's caused that stabilisation. And if you look at something like the auto sector, and this is where Germany looms large, of course, you've got real issues in the end consumer there, and whether they have enough conviction to go out and buy these large vehicles in a very fast-changing, shifting industry. That's just one part of the story. The rest of the industrial manufacturing base, though, you know, it's not been a problem with the end consumer, has it necessarily? It's been the trade tensions and shifting supply chains that's been very disruptive.
Exactly. I mean, and this is why companies aren't spending more on capex at the moment. I think we've got to realise actually that capex hasn't collapsed completely. It has slowed down a lot. But the reason the capex hasn't been greater is not because there's debt cost worries, or that it's more about this fear of the trade war. It's around this uncertainty and whether supply chains ultimately need to shift. But I think we're sort of getting to the point now where people are saying, OK, let's just start to shift some of those supply chains. The consumer is still in reasonably good shape, so we do still need to be making stuff. People are still going to still keep buying, and that just means that the slowdown stops at this point. You've had, I think, the worst of the slowdown.